Welcome to another Twitch stream. Let me just move a few things. I think we're just gonna push this off to the side. Okay. All right, we have our dish. We are working on, sorry, we are working on a soap dish, and this is going to be kind of like in a vintage platter kind of shape. I don't know, there's like some extra clay over here. So we have, pretty sure this is the back. Yeah, and then I'm working on carving this out. Maybe let's take like a look. Here is my soap. I think this is gonna be kind of tight. I really don't want to touch it because it might like, then I have to like go wash the soap off. You know, maybe we can get it to work. I've been worried if it's like, if it's gonna be, if the dish is like too small. I don't want it to be too small. Okay, I think we can make it work. Maybe I'll just carve out a little bit more around. Yeah. I think, oh no. Maybe we'll do a little bit more on the bottom here. I want to have like the bottom all set. And then I think we'll go back to the top part. So, sorry, I'm like, I don't know, my voice is like being kind of weird. Okay. So we are going to go around. It's like fairly even, like the width of this is fairly even all around. But I think I'll just go around the edge and make sure, sorry you guys, I can't really see. Try to make sure it is okay, now I think we just like grabbed a little bit too much there. It's like really thick on this side. So let's just kind of like touch this up. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just want it to look nice. And this is just like, this is just a personal project that I'm doing for just like to have a soap dish for my bathroom. Sorry, oh my gosh, my voice. Okay, I think it's good now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I've been thinking about doing this kind of like, sort of like kind of like mimicking some like ornate, like kind of like looking like old vintage, like old like plates and stuff. So this would be kind of like a good test to kind of see how I'm liking it. I don't really want to do anything that's like extremely ornate, but maybe just something that kind of gives that kind of look I think will be nice. So that's what I'm going for. Hi Robert, welcome to the stream. We are just continuing on the soap dish, because we didn't finish that, and I'm just kind of like touching up the sides of this. We're working on the bottom right now. Oh, you're making beef tips with noodles and gravy. Nice. You know, I think I might do, I don't know, like, I guess that's because we're getting into the fall, and let me kind of take a look at this. We're getting into the fall, and I do not do very many things in the fall. So the stream is definitely going to be really great just to, like, keep me on track with, like, continuing to make things. Sometimes I just completely stop making, like, anything in the fall and winter, which is, like, usually what happens. But this is going to be, like, a great thing just to, like, keep me going with it. Anyway, while I should definitely be working on my cooking skills, I do like to do some baking. I don't know. I guess because I don't really go out and do other things in the fall. Not really. Like, it's just like, sometimes it's just too cold to go out, or, I don't know, there's just nothing to do. So sometimes I just kind of like, I don't know, I just kind of get into the mood of baking. So I think I'm going to be doing some more of that. Wait, what are you saying about the apple? I should put an apple on this? Or are you talking about, like, baking or something? Or, like, cooking? What are you saying about the apple? I'm really upset that for some reason here in Oregon we don't get McIntosh apples, and that is like my mom's go-to for making this, like, I don't know, she doesn't even know what it is. She kind of says it's like maybe like a cobbler, but it's like in a deep dish, like a baking pan, like super deep dish, like deeper than a casserole dish, and then it's like kind of like pie filling, and then on the top it has this, like, not really pie crust, but it's kind of, I guess it may be kind of like what you would put on a cobbler, but like chewier and not quite, I don't know. I actually haven't had very many cobblers, I don't think, but I kind of picture that as kind of like a biscuit, like, but it's like, I don't know, it's like better than a biscuit on the top, and that's what my mom makes, and I really wish I could make that, but I don't really I don't know, like, what other kind of like apples I could get that would be good for that. That is something I would like to do. Oh, you think I should put an apple in the middle of this? I really haven't thought about what... Okay, so this is the bottom. And then this is like the top. So because it's a soap dish, I think we're gonna go with it. I think if I carve the edge, like the top and bottom a little bit more out, I think it'll be a good size to fit the soap. So we're gonna go with it. But I want something to raise it up. So we're gonna put something here to raise up the soap so that it can dry under it, or else it'll just get like moldy. So I haven't really thought about like what I want to put there. Not yet. I have to think about it. Cause like an apple's kind of like, I think that would kind of go with like this kind of like vintagey like cottagecore kind of vibe. I think I'll just kind of like mull over it while we're working. We're definitely not gonna get this done today, so I have some time to like think it over. Okay, now I think I want to just like maybe carve out just a teeny bit more from the bottom here. I think when we're kind of let me see. Wait, now I'm like thinking about it. It's really like, it's kind of weird because it's like super flat right now. Maybe we will carve more of the underside to kind of match the top like this. Oh, I just kind of like... maybe. I have to figure out how I want to sit. We might have to like redo this. Hopefully we don't have to redo it. This is just like I don't know. We didn't like plan this out very well. It's okay. It really doesn't even have to be like a certain depth, like for where it's gonna hold the soap. But now I'm kind of looking at it, it's just like this like slab and it looks kind of weird. Okay, so I think we're gonna cut off a lot of like the sides here to make it maybe look a little bit more like a platter. I want it to look like kind of like a platter, but it's like miniature. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna go in and like ruin like everything that we just did. That's fine. I think that's like, obviously if you're like a professional that has been doing things for like years and you have your own like style and like certain things that you do, like you're always doing the same type of stuff, like you probably don't have, I mean maybe you would have some oopsies, but like I think that's like something that a lot of people don't like maybe like understand like the price of like handmade things, because like you're only seeing like the finished product, but you don't know like how many times somebody has like reworked what they did to get that one thing. Like to make this one like soap dish. Like we're already on the second version or whatever. Like we didn't get very far with the first one, so that's fine. But like even like pricing as someone that is not like a pro, you're kind of like you kind of have to do well, I mean, I guess you're not really like pricing for like how long it took you to make it, or like how many times it took you to make it, really. But it's just like it's just part of the handmade process, and people might not know like it took you like this many tries to like actually get it right. I would say like, I mean, generally you're not charged for that. You kind of like, you're like charged on like how much it would, probably like time wise, like how much time it would take to do another one. But I think like some people like they don't really get like things can go wrong and you have to kind of like start over, and that kind of stings. But then like for a professional to be charging, they're like charging for like their expertise and the fact that they don't have to start over and like redo stuff. I mean, it just kind of like depends on like what you're doing. But like, I don't know, sometimes people just like look at like art or like handmade stuff and they're like, oh well, like that's so easy, like I could just do that like if I wanted to. But like you don't know like the kind of time that it took someone to like get to like that point. Like the end result, like maybe it doesn't take that long, but they had like this whole journey for like maybe getting that style, like getting to that point where they got to that style. And just kind of like like all a ton of small changes kind of like added up to this new thing that they made. I think like, I don't know, sometimes they're really subtle things in art that you can tell if a professional made it or if like an amateur made it, even though like just looking at it, it might look pretty simple. I think sometimes like I don't know, it's not really like always about, oh, thank you for sharing my stream, Robert. Yeah, like everybody has like different learning curves, and sometimes you just understand things differently. Anyway, like I think like some things, like sometimes people don't understand like when they look at art, a lot of people always just think that people are making art to sell it, and that's not always the case. Like some things that are really like simple looking, like stuff by like maybe like Mark Rothko, his very like very simple looking paintings, and they're just like, maybe it's like kind of basically looks like one block, or like one or two blocks of color, and like that's the whole painting. And they're just like, they're really huge. Off the top of my head, I don't know like his reasoning for what he makes. I'm not like super into it. But like sometimes the reason that somebody made a painting or something is because they are having fun, and that's what they made. Like they're just enjoying the process, and they just like what's happening. And then maybe after that it happens to get sold, and some people are like, oh, well, I could make something like that. And it's not always about like selling it or like that kind of aspect. Sometimes it's about like how it makes you feel. And I don't know, like some of those older like art pieces, that are like, I don't know, they're like big name artists and stuff. Like, I mean, sometimes there are like really great things like in them that aren't super complicated. Sometimes there are complicated things and reasons why you can tell it's not made by an amateur. But they're also kind of all just different ways that people like reasons why things are made, and it's not always just to make money. Sometimes it's just how it makes you feel, how like maybe it's just kind of like a feeling that you are trying to get someone else to feel by looking at it too. And I think it's important for people to know that like art isn't always made just to be sold. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's, when it is being sold, sometimes it's like a social commentary and just like, I don't know, weird things happening in like postmodernism. What else was I thinking about? I was kind of thinking about some things like, I think some things like Rothko's, like, I think he wanted you to feel a certain way when you looked at the paintings. And maybe someone would be like, looking at it and be like, oh, well, it's not like technically anything, like, there's no hidden message or something. Or, I don't know. Like, there are very technical, like, things that are happening in, like, the Mona Lisa that you can tell, like, an amateur didn't, like, paint that. And stuff. But, like, looking at, like, a Rothko, like, I think he wanted you to feel, like, a certain way by looking at it. And I think, like, I don't know, but I think he's one of those artists that a lot of artists actually, like, older ones, a lot of people like don't get famous until like they're dead. Like nobody likes their stuff like in the moment when they're alive and making it, and then it's not until like afterwards that people really start to like really like their stuff. And sometimes it's just about like prominence. Prominence, is that what it is? Basically like, oh, like all of a sudden people really like Rothko's or something, and because people want it, then the price goes up, and like the price of paintings just goes up and up and up. I think for the most part with like famous artists, like all those like kind of classical names, and that's because like I don't know, they're always trying to like, if you ever watch those like art bids, they're really crazy because they'll be like, well, it was, you know, this many $1 million, but you know, now people want it, so it just keeps going up. And I don't know, sometimes it's about like celebrities owning stuff. I think that's a lot of it, like that gives it like this extra boost and like why it sells for so much money. um I'm just kind of like going off of like memory here. Kind of like some things that like I've heard about, like why art can like be like so can cost like so much money. I'm sure they're like, I don't know. I think some videos on other videos on YouTube can like go more in depth on this topic. I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we got to this topic. But I think it's kind of like a interesting art topic, and it makes people like really mad when they see like really simple looking paintings like sell for like millions of dollars. Like honestly, like I think like to some extent it's just like, how did you even do that? Like how did you convince these people to buy it for like billions or something, or I don't know, millions or something? Like if it's like one of those like very basic looking, like, oh, I could do that kind of paintings, I think there's like a certain amount of like, good job, dude. You somehow convinced some person, maybe multiple people, to buy this super simple art piece for like $1 million or something. And not just anybody can do that. So there's definitely, I don't know, there's something there. You have to like commend people to some extent just for the fact that they accomplished that, I feel like. Because like how do you convince someone to do that? I don't know. This is like, I hope people aren't like watching this and then like come at me in the comments. This part of art is like super controversial. Um, but I don't know. I'm not really saying like an opinion. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, just kind of like sharing some things that like I've heard, I guess. Maybe we should talk about something else before this goes on too long. I don't. So far, we haven't been getting like any angry comments on the videos and on the YouTube, but you never know when that's gonna happen. Okay. I'm gonna be like super careful in this area. We might have to kind of like, I think we're gonna like kind of put this into like make it more basic shape towards the bottom here. Okay. Oh, one of your favorite painters is Bob Ross. I don't know like where, maybe like, I don't know, I guess like maybe someone like made a YouTube of his videos or something. I definitely don't have any I don't know, DVDs or VHS of him. I don't know how old those videos are. I think they might be on VHS. Um yeah, I used to watch like maybe not like a lot, but I used to watch some Bob Ross paintings or like just like watch him paint. I think like I think a lot of them are kind of like tutorials that you kind of follow along with, like if you want. Um, and like I used to watch those like when I was like just kind of like beginning to paint. Um, like really early on. Um, like I'm gonna say like maybe like in my early college days I used to watch those maybe because I did not really paint when I was in high school. I didn't do like very much art at all in high school because we didn't have a like an art class. We did, and then like when I got to high school, the teacher like retired and then was never replaced. Um, so I started off like doing my own kind of like art just by doing like drawings with pencils, which I think a lot of people do. It's just like I just used to like draw like photos and stuff, like probably photos that other people took, sometimes photos that I took. And that's kind of like that's how I started doing art. I just had like I just had no idea where to even begin. And it's just like I don't know. I think it was just so simple because it's like oh, like if you're just gonna like draw stuff, you don't have to have anything special. I mean, you could. Like I did get like some different like drawing pencils and stuff, but when I was like really like starting off, I would do like I just had like a mechanical pencil and like a like printer paper. Most like majority of like any drawings that I did, it was on printer paper. Because like I just liked how smooth it was compared to like sketchbook paper. I just really liked that like kind of smooth texture that it had. But yeah, I just had no idea like where to start with art. Like I really I don't know. I didn't have like any favorite artists or anything. My mom really likes like classical art, like stuff. She really likes Monet and I don't know if she really likes Picasso, but my mom knows art. Like, she knows like quite a bit about like all the like big names that you'd hear about from like art history kind of stuff. And she has like these like replicas, or, you know, like cheap replicas of like Monet paintings in our house. I never really knew like I don't know. I never really like knew a lot about art, but like I was always like the art kid. Like in my class. Like, I would, like, win, like, drawing competitions and stuff. Whatever the school was, like, putting on or whatever, I would, like, win some of those or something. Or, like, people would, like, come to me for, like, their projects and be like, oh, well, could you, like, help me? Like, could you just, like, help draw, like, part of this on my project or whatever? Like, it was, like, the cover of something, maybe. So I was always like the art kid in my class. And but like I actually like I did a lot of like drawing and stuff. Like in high school, I would just like I just sit in class and be like drawing stuff while we're supposed to be like paying attention. But I was always like doing that. Like working on like some kind of like drawing of like some picture. Just I don't know, just because I really had no idea like how, like I just like didn't know how to like think creatively, I guess. Like I don't really know how else to put that. Like I don't know, like I didn't have like inspiration or like I don't know ideas of like other things to draw other than just like going off of a picture. What is that noise? Oh, it's my cat. She's like, I don't know. She's just being weird. So I don't know. I just like I literally didn't know like where to start with anything. And drawing like pictures just kind of like gave me somewhere to like start, because otherwise I just like didn't have any ideas or anything. Also like I'm not like that old, but like we didn't really have like a ton of internet like back, even like when I was in high school. We never had like unlimited high speed internet. So I couldn't, there wasn't like it wasn't an option to like really go on YouTube and like watch artists make things or any of that. So there's also that, like the times have changed. And I don't even know when Pinterest launched, but it was somewhere around that time. Like you had to sign up and then maybe they would give you an account or something, or like you had to know somebody that had an account and then they would invite you. I don't know. There's like something. So like back in the day, back in the day, you could just like go to Pinterest and like find all these ideas. Like they just like were non-existent. And I just like, yeah, I have like no idea where to start. And then, but then when I went to college, I got like high speed, unlimited internet that I could use and, kind of like learned about like more stuff. And I always like kind of wanted to do some painting. So I don't know when, I don't think it was even like my first semester or maybe first year that I was there. I don't think I did any painting. But I don't know. I think for some reason my mom has like a Bob Ross painting book, I think. Or maybe she like found it at a store and like gave it to me. I don't know. I don't really like the books because they're like in black and white. And it's like, it's a painting. Like, why are these in black and white? Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's like kind of amazing how like some people like create their like art style and all of that without the internet. I mean, now we just like take it like completely for granted. but older people like didn't have that back then, or ways of like getting inspiration. Like you, I don't know, you'd have to like save like physical things, or maybe like take pictures or something. Anyway, so I don't know, I think my mom like gave me this like Bob Ross book or something. Maybe it had like a CD in it, I don't know. Back in the day, like some books just come with CDs of like videos. Maybe that's what it was, I don't know. This was back when like my laptop had a CD drive. I'm not like that old, but I feel like I'm really dating myself. Oh, a CD drive. Honestly, why don't we still have the CD drive? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I could maybe use that. Yeah, I don't know. Somehow I started like watching Bob Ross videos on like painting and going from like I painted or I drew very like in a more realistic sense. Like it wasn't like cartoonish. Like I was trying to like just draw like photographs that I took. Like I would try to like draw them like as realistic as I could. And going from that to like painting is just so different. And it really like opened me up to like just like really how different it can be, like based off of like the tools that you're using. Like you can really struggle when you're using the wrong kind of tools. And like it will take you a lot longer to like say like draw a photo versus like maybe like paint it. Like I mean there's like all kinds of different stuff that you can do, but just like having this little tiny like pencil versus a brush, like just like generally, like in a general sense, like it's just going to take you so much longer with that tiny little pencil versus using a brush that is like that just gives you so much more coverage. And he really opened me up to that way of kind of like painting in that sort of like impressionistic style that I really enjoyed that. Like he just takes like a paint palette, like, or like not paint palette. He takes a palette knife and just like is like, yeah, we're just gonna, and then and then it's like, oh, okay. He just slapped the canvas a few times and now he has a tree. Or like, you know. And then I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, that would take like forever if you're sitting there with a pencil trying to do that. And I don't know, just like watching the way that he worked really kind of like changed the way that I thought. So like, and that is like so great to watch how other people do things. And you know, he's obviously like teaching you. He's not just like doing it, he's like actively teaching while he's doing it. And I think that's just like, that's so great. And I think that's why a lot of people just really like Bob Ross, is because he's so like, he's always like so happy and just like you know, he talks about like happy accidents. Like you don't want to be in a negative mindset while you're working. I mean, obviously there are times when you cannot recover from what happened. But he just kind of like tries to put you in that positive mindset. And that's really important as an artist, to have a more positive outlook on things while you're working, because like even if you're a professional, Sometimes things just don't go how you planned and you have to pivot. You have to be like, okay, that's okay. We're just gonna we're gonna come up with a new plan and that's what we're gonna do. You can, you know, I think that's like really great. Um, I'm gonna make like a little like Instagram post about that, like ways that you can change like things that you kind of like think into like how can you change that kind of like phrase to be positive. um I think that's really great. Like something that I've noticed at work is like the way that they, so normally someone would say, oh, what are your strengths and weaknesses? But at my work they change weaknesses into opportunities. Like, how can we take that and change it into an opportunity for you to grow. Like, it doesn't have to be this flaw that you have forever. You can change that. Like, it doesn't have to stay like that. And I think that's like amazing. Like nobody's ever really like commented on it, but I think that's so great. um for people that aren't so like in tune and aware of that kind of stuff. I think that's really awesome that that's how they phrase that. um because that's what weaknesses are. They're an opportunity for you to improve. Like if you, I mean, you can improve strengths too. But and like some in certain like circumstances you do want to do that. But I think it's great to say like, hey, like this isn't set in stone. You can improve on this, and then you know, you'll be like a better person or something. I think that's like cool. And I think that's really important like as an artist because I've worked in a lot of different mediums. I'm trying to focus on ceramics now, but I've worked in a lot of mediums, and that's just what you have to do. You have to be like, okay, this is not turning out how I want it to. What can we do to fix it? And sometimes if you can't fix it, you just have to like acknowledge that you're learning from the experience. Like, you learn the most from mistakes than what you could possibly learn from an accomplishment. Like, accomplishments are awesome, but there's probably not much to learn because you did it like perfectly or something, or maybe it wasn't, or maybe there were parts of it that weren't perfect, and that's the part that you would learn from. And be like, okay, like next time let's fix that, or like not do that. um because if you did everything perfectly, what is there to learn? There's nothing to improve upon if it was perfect. And I think a lot of people think of like mistakes as being really negative, but the way that if you change the way that you think, you can really make that a positive and just be like, you know what, that's okay. We're learning. We don't, you don't have to get it right the first time. And you just keep going. Okay, so let's take a look. We have a few more minutes to work on this. I kind of like, I don't know if we're gonna like be able to do it, but I kind of want it to like this outer section. I kind of want that to like go like upwards, maybe a little bit. I have no idea if that is something we can do. Maybe we can kind of like carve it into the shape. That's kind of like what I'm thinking. I think we can like carve it into the shape. Yeah. So there's my spiel. Oh, Robert, do you want to talk about your poems that you used to make? Or do you still make poems? What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like that is like a creative I'm like blanking on words. Something that kind of like helps you like express yourself in a creative sense. Okay. I think I'm gonna kind of just like, we're still gonna have to work on this for a bit, but I'm kind of, I think I'm just kind of work on this curve for now. Okay. I think it's great for people to like to do creative things and to express themselves. I don't know, sometimes people don't really realize that it's like kind of like important for them to express themselves. And that can really be in so many different ways. Because like whenever you do like anything like remotely creative, you're just kind of like I don't know, just putting like a little bit more of yourself out into the world. I mean, that can just be like, that can be as simple as like getting dressed, like I think like some people like the way that they kind of like plan their outfits and stuff. I think that's kind of like a creative outlet. Because you're kind of like, if you're like really like putting thought into it, you're really just kind of like putting yourself out there, and that's kind of like, that's how like creativity works. Or decorating your home. I think a lot of people are decorating their homes for the fall. Some of my neighbors have already like put out Halloween decorations outside their apartments. That's definitely a creative outlet. Outlet? Is that what I'm looking for? I think that's what I'm looking for. I think it's just really great for people to find like something to express themselves. Because I think sometimes if you don't, like, I don't know, like, I don't want to be mean, but I think like some people just like, they build up like all of this like expression that needs to be released, and then they just like explode. And sometimes like okay, I don't want to be mean, but I'm like, I see like houses that are like, I don't know, it's like painted like hot pink, and I'm like, oh, like I think that person just like exploded, but like on their house. Like the house is like hot pink, or it's like lime green, and it's just like crazy intense, like, and they don't always look like the best, like obviously it was very intentional, but at the same time, like, I don't know, there's like something about it, it just looks so like off the cuff, like they're just like, they just woke up one day and they just went to the hardware store and like picked up that paint just out of nowhere, like no planning, and just went at it. I mean, I don't know, but that's just like the vibe that I get sometimes. Or maybe like crazy car colors. Like I have seen like hot pink cars, and like maybe it's a vibe, but like it looks a little like too much. It just kind of like, I just get this feeling that this person like was really desperate to like express themselves, and they kind of like took it out on something very expensive, and I'm hoping they don't regret it. Like, you can express yourself in a lot of different ways that do not cost you like hundreds or thousands of dollars. I don't know. This is just like an idea, this idea that I have when I see like random things just out and about. I don't know. I mean, maybe some people just think it's fun. Like, that's just who they are. Like, in a normal kind of like way of expressing themselves. But I don't know. Like, sometimes I just see some things and I'm like, whoa. They just, I don't know. They just built up all of this, like, I don't know, energy, and then just like went really crazy just all of a sudden. I don't know. If you have any thoughts on that, leave them in the comments. Like, if you've seen something that's like really expensive and just like, I don't know, just like insane. When you see it, like, I don't know. That's like, that's kind of like, that's what I always think of is like when I'm out and about and see like a crazy colored house. Or I don't know, or sometimes the houses are like multiple colors, like 4 colors or something. I don't know, like the window trim is a crazy color, but so is like, I don't know, the roof, or I don't know, the roof or something, or I don't know. Sometimes they're just like, whoa, whoa. It's like, I just feel like you need to sit them down with like, I don't know, maybe a little paintbrush, and they can like paint a house like on the paper instead of like the real house. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm just kind of like spitballing, but I think it's really important for people to like have a way to express themselves. And it's even better if you are like, if you're aware of that, like you're aware that you're expressing yourself, and just doing things based off of like what feels good to you. Like, obviously, like just getting dressed, like here in the fall, you're gonna like, people kind of like think, you know, just kind of like really cozy, chill vibes with, you know, maybe like a dark, moody colored sweater. And that's like, that's really expressing yourself very differently from putting on like a neon green sweater. Like you're just like putting different vibes out into the world. And you know, I think it's like so great for people like really consciously like to be aware of like how they can express themselves, and like, and I don't know, do more if you just kind of feel like you really need to put more out into the world. I mean, sometimes like you just don't, I don't know, you're just kind of like, whatever, we're just chilling. I don't know. But I don't know, sometimes I'm just like, that's just like how I am. Like when I just get like so excited, like I see all of these like awesome art pieces, like whatever it is, like on Instagram or something, I'm like, oh, these are so cool. Like I just get so much energy from seeing other people's work, and I'm just like, oh yeah, we have to make that. We have to make stuff that's like, I don't know. I love bunnies. I love bunnies. We don't have any bunny stuff in the shop yet, but we need to do that. Like, I need to get the bunnies out into the world on my ceramics. Like, I just love them so much. I just like need to express like that love for them. And I'm gonna be like even more excited when those things are like actually done and like out in the world. So I don't know, you just gotta like I don't know, I think it's just like really important for people to like do that and like be aware of it and just like know how you're feeling and know like what you need like mentally is just like really great. So we have a nice like bevel. This is starting to look like a really nice like front side. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter to a certain extent until we actually put the like thing on to like lift it up. We might change our mind. I love how this looks like a photograph or like a frame, picture frame. I love that. I don't know. I'm still thinking of like this being the top though. I don't know. I think it looks like really nice. Okay. Anyway, we're at time, so I have to go back to work. I don't know if I'm gonna do a stream later tonight, but I definitely will be working on videos. I will show you a very rough sneak peek of a video that I'm working on. I think I showed you guys, maybe. I really can't remember. Okay, I'm trying to grab it. I am working on a like sandbox turtle. And obviously I need to like work on like the lid part, but it's gonna be so cute. I'm so excited. This one, I'm in the middle of making 3, but one of them is a personal one. I'm just gonna like throw like, when it's done, I'm gonna like throw rings and stuff in there, and then it's gonna be a cute little like container. It's just like, oh my gosh, like a little sandbox turtle. So these are like, those are gonna be a while until they're actually done, because I think for the video I really want to show what it looks like once it's been glazed. So that's gonna be like, I don't know. The glazing itself, or like with both firings, takes about 2 weeks. It really depends. Like one time I took my stuff in there and it's supposed to take like 3 days, I think, for them to fire it, but it was like over a week until they emailed me and were like, okay, it's ready. So I kind of like don't know, but just the firing part is gonna be like 2 weeks on those. So yeah, but I'm making like a whole like video on the turtles, on like just like showing like the whole process and stuff, just like the paint palette video that we have. This is just taking a lot longer because like it's gonna include like the glazing part. Okay, anyway, for anybody that's watching on Twitch, be sure to follow along so you know when I am streaming. I usually do videos weekdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, but sometimes I will do a random stream after work or on the weekend, so you never know. And then all of these videos will be uploaded to my YouTube at Callie & Co, into the Twitch stream archive, and we have like, I think 26 videos up there right now. At least 26. So there's a bunch more you can watch there. And I'm also going to be making more YouTube videos that are like ceramic themed, or just kind of like general like art kind of themed, or like advice. And maybe some business stuff, like small handmade business kind of stuff. So be sure to subscribe to YouTube at Callie and Co. For more of that. And I will catch you later. Thank you so much for joining, Robert. I love seeing you here. It's so fun. It's so fun to like come onto the stream and chat with you. So yeah, I will catch you later. Bye.